Well, we live in a technical age, and everything is technical. Everything is controlled now, right? You might have a computerized stove. Not only does it heat, it can steam, it can clean, it can do a lot of things. It can tell you when it's ready. It'll give an alert. Might have to program it. It's you don't have to. You could steam clean it. Pour some water in there, like 30 milliliters of water. You pour it in there. It can steam clean itself. Refrigerator, built-in TV. Refrigerator also is smart. You have a smart refrigerator. That's what they call smart refrigerator, smart stove, smart microwave. Everything in the kitchen is smart. Your washing machine and dryer, intelligent. You don't like to iron clothes. You can just throw your clothes into the dryer. The dryer is hooked up to the hot water supply. Yeah, and it can dry your clothes. It sprays it. What? You don't have to iron anymore. Maybe you don't want to do it. A lot of people don't want to iron. It's ironing and folding you don't want to do. Maybe you have everything. It can do it all. Right now, the dryer I have, the neat feature about it, if you're rushing for an interview or a job and you don't want to iron that shirt, you throw it in there for like 5-10 minutes, it comes out ironed. No wrinkles. Wow. Yeah. The price to pay to fix that is a lot of money too. Anything smart. Like I said, your TV set is smart. Your TV set is not a regular TV set. It's not a TV you just turn on and watch the news with an aerial or a cable. It's smart. You could talk to it. Put the lights on. Yeah. You can talk to your house no matter where you are. As long as there is internet, you can talk or a cell phone, I should say, because you don't even need internet either. You can talk to your phone and tell your phone, hey, I have to be careful because my phone will activate. So I'll say, hey, Google, turn on the front door. Hey, whoa. Stop. See, it's listening. And there's no way to turn that off. That's annoying, especially if you're making video. It's annoying. It's going to come on. I disable it, it comes right back on. That's what I mean. So the front door can come on. Now, I know somebody said, gee, I don't want a household smart like that. I do. I had RF frequency, radio frequency devices. You plug it in and it would send it through the electrical system. Radio Shack had that. Yeah. So you just plug it in and look up for it. Then from there, go to Z-Wave. Z-Wave technology. Big, bulky controller, wireless. Still have to plug it in, but it was wireless. It could turn the lights on. Look what we have in there. By 2018, 2017, 2016, we had artificial intelligence. Google Assistant, they call them today is Google Nest. You have Alexa. You get that with Amazon. You still have to buy the thing. You don't get it free. They had a program where they were giving away Google Assistants for free as long as you got Spotify. So it worked with that. So people took advantage of that and have a whole bunch of them in the house. I just got one. And you play around with that. It was pretty neat. It remembers your birthday. You can sing happy birthday to. You can make happy New Year, blow the trumpet. It was pretty unusual. It could say you're leaving the house. It can bark as a dog and protect your house. Yeah. I don't know if Alexa can do that. Anyway, but the thing is that Amazon uses it. You can order things. You can find out where your package is with the Amazon, and that's what Alexa does. And she can sing. You can have a conversation with it now because it's advanced. I know a lot of people don't want to have a conversation with AI. If you're by yourself, they come in handy. They'll remember your birthday. You have no family and you're by yourself. You could talk to the AI and the AI will talk back to you. Either text or voice, like Meta AI from Facebook. You can talk back and forth to it. Okay? ChatGPT has that feature too. Microsoft Copilot. Everybody don't want to talk about that Microsoft, but hey, because it gets intrusive. There's nothing we can do. This is technology, okay? You don't have to have smart devices. Look, but the smart TV can talk back to you. You can tell it to turn itself on, turn it off, control your lights, control your fans, your air conditioning system. They had a problem with the thermostats in the house where something happened, and they don't seem to do that anymore unless they change. They have some problems with the so yeah. Or you could have there's a company, I don't want to mention the name, the bolt, the lock on your system can tell AI open and lock your door, and then it's the trouble. But if you lose power, what happens? Everything that's connected to the AI in the cloud, that's right, everything's on the cloud. How do you think it's not doing it in your house? It has to use the internet. If the internet goes down, or if the lights power goes off, everything that's turned on for the AI to control the lights, all the lights come on. And you're in a trip. And you say, hey, I want to check on and see what's happened. Holy cow, all the lights are on. Yeah, and you have to turn them off. You can turn them off manually. You do it from your phone. And your phone is smart. You see, you got a smartphone, right? Everything in your house is smart. Your computers are smart. Everything is smart in the house. Smart vacuum cleaner, that's eavesdropping. Well, I shouldn't say it's eavesdropping. It could be, because I couldn't understand why it would need to connect to the internet. Well, then it's smart, right? The little robot running around. You can have the robot running around, vacuuming, sweeping your floor. You can have it now. It can actually wash your floor as well. But you have to understand, all the smart technology, there's some caveats. There's issues because they could be buggy, And a lot of things is that the apps that you have to run on your phone to control them, they forget who you are, and then you have to log back in, try to find the password, log back in, try to get it into work, and won't work. My vac here, my smart vac wouldn't work. Couldn't control from the phone. I had to do it manually. It comes with its own remote control. Memory, remote control. You can remote control. Everything is remote control. All these lights that I use here, and this remote control. Everything's remote control. It's easier. It's convenient, but you got to charge up the batteries. You have to make sure they're working. This is Bluetooth. This little device here. Yeah, without this, I can't control that. What I'm using it to talk to you on. Yeah. But it's easy. It's convenient. You have to reach over and look on you. Okay, say anything. This is the end of this video, and I have to reach over and press the button. But I don't have to reach. I can do it more professionally. I can just sit here and just talk to you without doing anything. That's how it becomes. It becomes a smart camera, you see? It becomes intelligent. But smart TV, you want to watch a certain movie, you tell the TV, hey, I want to look at this movie. It'll find the movie and tell you or you have Disney, you have Paramount Plus, you have Apple TV, you got Netflix, all that costs money. And a lot of you get rid of it. You can live up in the mountains with no smart devices and go back to the old-fashioned way. Have a kerosene lamp. You don't want no smart device. These are regular stove. You chop up the wood, we used to have 1890 stove, antique cast iron. You just chop the wood, put it in there, cook like that, and it had these plates on top. Yeah, nothing fancy. Like today we have German glass, scratch resistant, but still scratch. But German glass that sits on top, so it's a flat stove top. But those are popular. They're using a new technology now. And this came in the mail. It's like a radiant stove. Gotta be careful with that stuff. That stuff is really hot. Smart stove, smart. Everything, all your appliances are smart. Your microwave, everything. Yeah, TV set with a phone, or you can call your family from your refrigerator, watch TV on the fridge, because then it would save you time to have a smart TV. I have a smart TV in my kitchen. I built it myself. I cut into the cabinet and run the wire, so you don't see anything down. The brackets mounted onto the side of the cabinet. I used to have that. Anywhere I go, I have that because I cook. I'm like, chef, you could say, like that. But I just cook and I like to watch TV, and smart TV. Yeah, well, that's all what's available. What I don't see TV sets without that feature anymore, and most of those don't last long anyway. Listen, we live in an age, it's digital. Everything is digital. When the computer came into the homes back in the 90s, 80s, Radio Shack first, and then IBM. In the 90s, 80s, late 80s, 90s, everybody had a computer. You had a cell phone. The cell phone back in the 80s was bigger than this. It was gigantic, like a big walkie-talkie. I think the thing ran for like $1,200 for that. I know it's nothing today because that's what these phones are today. This is $500. That one's like over $1,000. This one here, this one, folding. Yeah, I saw the fold. I said, "Wow, that's pretty cool, huh?" That's folds. And you have another screen here when you're taking videos. Taking pictures. So it's pretty cool. You got 3 cameras. And then this is the typical one piece, like that. I had one where you can drop it and it won't break. Can't find it. But hey, I did have it. Listen, we live in a world that's digital, electronic, smart devices. You can control the smart device. You can turn it off. Always on. You can go to that master breaker and turn everything off. Everything shuts off. You kill the switch. Everything shuts down. If you don't want these devices, you have to look for devices that are not smart, that don't have all these extra circuit boards and all these things. Talk to you. Your refrigerator can talk to you and remind you that it needs to change that filter. Well, they get you with that filter, though. And ice maker too. I don't. I already have a separate machine to do the ice that rely on the refrigerator to do the ice. I don't like the way they I don't like the way they have that kind of jerry rig. Central air conditioning. They're getting better with that too. Central air conditioning. Central air conditioning has to be hooked up before you use a meter, a dial. You just turn it for the temperature, but they're not accurate. So they went digital. So you can touch screen, or you can use your AI. Your AI can turn it on, but they had problems with those too. But a lot of you Nest, a lot of you using all sorts of different the lights. If the light goes out, all my lights are LED. All my lights are controlled by I have to hide her. Google and Alexa. They can control all that stuff. Then you say, what happened when one of the bulbs go out? They go out. They don't last forever. I used to have them outside. The cells are handled outside. They're just plastic. That's all they are. So if they drop, they don't break. It's plastic. Yeah, but there's an LED light in there. It's supposed to last a long time, but that's not the truth. It doesn't last a long time. Not like they say. And there's multicolors. You can have blue, green, yellow. Whatever mood you're in, you can have it. They can beat to the music. You play music in the house, and they can play. It's amazing what they can do. But a lot of you can't handle that. But don't get it then. Don't get you can get regular bulbs, the LEDs though, but they're not programmable. They're plain. The LED saves electricity. It does save compared to a regular bulb. LED, I'm saving $30 a month on the LED bulbs. Every house, you want to get away from the CRFs. The CRFs is dangerous to have mercury there. They were recalled, but I don't know. Some of them still showing up. Those are the ones with the coil on it. So you better off with the LED. LED, less light, less electricity, but you can get them without control on them. Everybody have these little LED lights behind their smart TV. That makes the place look nice. You have LED lights to make the walls. I don't bother with all that coloring. I mean, I have the stuff to do it, to make the background colorful. But it's a lot of work, and those lights never last too long in the first place. Well, like I said, this smartphone is doing everything. Girl Friday is like a secretary. Your phone can do it. You don't need to have a secretary. Airphone is able to do everything. Your phone takes pictures. It does recording, video recording. Is your recorder, is your computer, is your to-do list. Everything is on here. This phone. Yeah. In the old days, before this type, you had a rotary phone. Okay? These came out like late 70s, 80s. Touch typing. This is with a cord. This is a phone. Okay. So a lot of you grew up with this on the wall, or this could be on the table like a princess phone, and you just talk like that. You dial, and like that, and it would ring, you know. But this is what you got. All the landlines are gone. I know a lot of you don't like technology, you know. I kind of like it because it's easier for me. If you fall or something happens to you, you can yell out to these, and they can call 911. They can do everything if you're by yourself. That's how it comes in handy. So it's not that the world is taken over by the digital technology. It's just that you don't have to accept it. You don't have to have webcam. You don't have to have the best computer around. You don't have to have cameras that are smart. You can go back to the old. Here, this is digital too. This is point and shoot. Like this, see? And have a screen on it and everything. The new ones, the screen can flip, it can talk to you, you know. You know, these were good for what they could do. But we're in a digital time now. Everything's digital. Before you would have one of these. Analog clock. It's analog dial. But you know, this is digital. It runs on batteries. You can press a button. See the light? But this is what we come. I used to have one that you turn, you know, wind it up. It didn't have nothing like this. This is digital. You couldn't tell this is digital. A lot of stuff it didn't tell you. It looks analog. But this is the way things are today. That's how it is. Everything. Bluetooth speaker, you carry it around. You want to listen to this? You have this, and you can just listen to it. You can hang this any place, in the gym, on your bicycle, in your car if you want to, you know, or taking a shower if it's waterproof. It has to be waterproof. This is your go-to, your booth, your boom boxes. You know, you put on your shoulder and walk down the street. Here you go. This is right here. This is pretty loud, by the way. Yeah. This is the way things are. I know a lot of you know, people like ourselves that talk to you know, don't like technology, want to opt out. Then go live in the mountains and don't use no technology like automatic fireplace. Come on, Mister. Like a mist in your room automatically. You just go use the old-fashioned way. Boil the water and live the life like that. You know, don't use no microwave. Don't use, just use a regular stove and a regular refrigerator. And nothing smart and regular TV. You can get 4K TV without smart technology in it, and you just live like that. And don't get on the internet, and because everybody, what's the first thing they do? They turn on their smart TV. They go on YouTube and watch YouTube. YouTube has TV. You have TV. You don't even need cable. You got TV. You got like I said, you got YouTube Premium, which is movies and stuff. You got all of that. You got Netflix. You got Apple TV. You got Disney TV Plus. The thing that bothers me the most, we have to. If you don't want to watch ads on these other streaming services, you have to pay more to get rid of the ad. Otherwise, the ads will, hit you in the face, and it's a lot of ads. Even Amazon has ads on their Prime. Their Prime Video has ads. To get off of that, it costs you $2.99 to get rid of that. You have to pay into the system. That's additional funds. A lot of people don't want to opt out of streaming services because you have to pay a lot of money. Yeah, because if you had everything, you'd look at a lot of money. It's by month. They might say, hey, it's just $3.99 for 3 months. And after that, you go back to the regular rate. But Is that ads or without ads? It's because without ads it's going to be cheaper. And then you have to watch ads. I can't sit there and watch a movie and watch ads popping in my face. So uh, I have to, But I got good deals. But, you know. And you need fast internet, right? If you're on this now and you're uploading 4K videos, a lot of people do 1080p. But the system is different now. They want you to do 4K. A lot of these cameras that you got, they can go up to 8K. 6K. There's no 8K TVs that didn't work out. Nobody can spend the kind of money for that stuff. Even if you had it, it'd be pretty expensive like that. But the newest cameras are $2,000, and they a camera only. That does cameras and photos. And you got 6K. But I'm saying to myself, gee, 6K. Who's gonna shoot 6K? Because YouTube is 4K. I heard they support 8K, but again, we're talking about gigantic files. Yeah, big file, 50 gig file. Yeah, if I record 30 minutes, it's 50 gigs. If I record on this device over here, it'll be smaller. Yeah, because or if I use my phone, it has higher compression, so it cuts it in half. It'll be 25 instead of 50. See how that works? Okay, so if you don't like smart, don't use smart. Live your life simple. Live your life light. I like digital. I like electronics. But I don't want to take it over my life. That's the thing. Do you want to use a regular vacuum cleaner? Or do you have the time? You come home from a long day of work. You don't have time to mop the floor. You don't have time to vacuum. The robot can do the whole place. It gets stuck. Yep. I had the one that used to squirt the water on the floor, put the solutions, wash the floor, rinse the floor, and then dry the floor. It took about 15 minutes for it to do that. A 9x12 kitchen. What happened with that? The wheels stopped working. A lot of money for that too. But hey, it worked. It only worked one way. I don't know if Alexa, they can control it. I can't remember. The new one they can control. They say, hey, I call it Sally. Sally comes to light. And Sally, go home. And Sally, go back and charge. Maybe a lot of you don't want to do all of that, but that's it. You can have robot dog and robot cat. You see where I'm going with this? If you don't want to take care of a cat, don't want to take care of a dog, you can have a robotic dog and robotic cat. They have them. They run around on wheels. But that's the way technology is. And eventually we'll have droids in our house, if you want to go that far, until they perfect the droid and like that. That's what they're working on. The droid can take care of your kids, or take care of the elderly, or go get the groceries for you, or clean up the house for you, or mow the lawn for you, paint your house. Do everything that you don't want to do. Because there's going to be a point where you can't do it anymore. Now, if you're young and in your 40s, you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you could do a lot of things. In your 50s, yeah. But, you're going to say, I want to retire. I don't want to do nothing. Let the robot do it. And that's what's going to boil down to eventually. Okay. I'm going to let you go. If you made it this far, that's great. Okay. Hey, I'm starting out here. So, hit that subscribe button. Okay. That did me a lot good. All right. Hey. If you found this video helpful. Okay. All right. I'll see you again.